There's something happening here. What it is ain't exactly clear.
That the only thing we have to fear is fear itself.
Ask not what your country can do for you. Ask what you can do for your country.
I have a dream that one day this nation will rise up and live out the true meaning of its creed. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal.
George Bernard Shaw once wrote, "Some people see things as they are and say, why? I dream things that never were and say, why not?"
There is nothing wrong with America that cannot be cured by what is right with America.
Change will not come if we wait for some other person or if we wait for some other time. We are the ones we've been waiting for.
The Patriotic Progressive, for truth, justice, and the democratic way. And now your host, Stephen Hanks.
Good morning to all of you out there in Sedona and throughout the Verde Valley listening right now on this September 28th, 2024 through KAZM 106.5 FM and 780 AM Mellow Mountain Radio. Like the announcer said, my name is Stephen Hanks, and this radio show, which is heard every Saturday morning at 8 a.m., is called the Patriotic Progressive, for truth, justice, and the democratic way. And I also want to welcome folks from all over Arizona and around the country who may be tuning into the live stream on mellowmountainradio.com, and anyone who is listening to the podcast version on Apple or Amazon Podcast, YouTube, Spotify, and now you can also listen to the podcast on my Substack newsletter at the Patriotic Progressive. Also, it's at Patriotic Progressive, so don't use the. So my dear Patriotic Progressive audience, while you may think you are listening to me live right now, you are actually hearing a show that I pre-taped in the studio last week, thanks to my great producer, Ryan Thompson. And that's because today I'm not in Sedona, but I'm currently back in my hometown of New York City, where later this afternoon, I will be producing and hosting a cabaret variety fundraising show for Kamala Harris, who I dare say all Democrats, liberals, and progressives, whatever you want to call yourself, are working their butts off to elect the next president of the United States. Today at Don't Tell Mama on Restaurant Row in Manhattan, which, for those of you who aren't familiar, is on 46th Street between 8th and 9th Avenues, some of New York's most accomplished women cabaret performers will be singing songs of freedom, equality, and democracy, all to raise funds for the Harris for President campaign and to energize New Yorkers and all of you who are listening right now for the next 5 weeks leading up to Election Day on November 5th. This fundraising show today is actually the 12th in the series that I launched in 2018 in New York, with 5 shows that year to raise money for Democratic Senate and congressional candidates that were running in that year's midterm election, where Dems ended up flipping 40 congressional seats, and I promise you I am not taking the credit for that. Since then, I produced and hosted 6 other shows for Democratic candidates and voting rights organizations. The last one staged this past May when we were raising money for New York congressional candidates to help flip Congress back to the Democrats in 2024. Which leads me to what this special musical edition of the Patriotic Progressive is all about. So, folks, I just thought it would be really cool and fun that on a day I was in New York City producing one of our what we call Blue Wave fundraising shows, that for today's show I would play for you some of the highlights from the show we presented back in May to a full house at Don't Tell Mama. And by the way, even though you may not have been at the show in May or will be at the show today in New York, you can still contribute to the cause, and I urge all my listeners to help Kamala Harris and her running mate, Governor Tim Walz, by donating what you can to KamalaHarris.com. But before we present the Patriotic Progressive version of the Campaign for Kamala Blue Wave Show songs, I do want to alert all my Sedona and Verde Valley listeners to the upcoming film event that I strongly recommend you try to attend. Beginning Monday, September 30th and running through Thursday, October 3rd, the Sedona International Film Festival in West Sedona is showing Bad Faith, Christian Nationalism's Unholy War on Democracy, a new and timely documentary that unveils the forces dividing our nation from within. Part archival chronicle and part expose, Bad Faith investigates the alarming rise of Christian nationalism. This movement, which was once on the fringes of Christian conservative thought, has surged to the forefront of American politics, driven by the belief in establishing a theocratic rule that aligns with its interpretation of Christian values. Through interviews with religious leaders, historians, investigative journalists, and political veterans, Bad Faith explores how this ideology has skillfully seduced tens of millions, becoming one of the most formidable political forces in the nation. There will be 4 showings of Bad Faith at the Mary D. Fisher Theater, starting this coming Monday and Tuesday at 4 p.m. and Wednesday and Thursday at 7 p.m. For more information and tickets, go to SedonaFilmFestival.com. That's SedonaFilmFestival.com. And folks, I've already seen this documentary a couple of times, and while it is frightening on many levels, it is very important you see it, especially if you'd like to understand the evolution of the draconian document known as Project 2025. So, now on to the Blue Wave Show for Democracy, exclusively on the Patriotic Progressive at KAZM Mellow Mountain Radio. So the singer who opened the show back in May was a great vocalist named Remy Block, and it's fitting to start this show with her number since she sang the tune that opened that show that provides the background music for the opening of the Patriotic Progressive. And you know it for what it's worth, the 1967 protest song by Buffalo Springfield. So, ladies and gentlemen, here is Remy Block singing For What It's Worth.
There's something happening here. What it is ain't exactly clear. There's a man with a gun over there telling me I got to beware. I think it's time we stop. Children, what's that sound? Everybody look what's going down. There's battle lines being drawn. Nobody's right if everybody's wrong. Young people speaking their minds, facing so much resistance from behind. We've got to
folks, that was Remy Block singing Buffalo Springfield's For What It's Worth that opened our Blue Wave show back in May. Next up is Dawn DeRoe, who has performed every kind of music in cabaret, from opera to an Edie Gourmet tribute. But here she is with a humorous commentary on reproductive rights. Her version of a song by Gwen Levy and the Breakdown called Barefoot and Pregnant.
What do we do with the girl next door? She's got no choice like she did before. What do we do with the farmer's daughter? The court took away what her mama fought for. Ask the good old boys drinking whiskey and rye. What do we do with Miss American Pie? Let's keep her barefoot and pregnant and down on the farm, cooking in the kitchen and cleaning out the barn, praying in church, a credit to her gender, popping out babies like a Pez dispenser. 9 out of 10 evangelicals will agree. Let's keep her barefoot and pregnant like the good Lord meant her to be. Woohoo! Yeah. What does she do with her college degree? Throw it out the window with her IUD. Now that they're taking her rights away, what does she do on Independence Day? Ask the good old boys drinking whiskey and rye. What do we do with the women in our lives? Let's keep them barefoot and pregnant and down on the farm, cooking in the kitchen and cleaning out the barn, praying in church, a credit to her gender, popping out babies like a Pez dispenser. 9 out of 10 evangelicals will agree. Let's keep them barefoot and pregnant like the good Lord made her to be. Yeehaw! There's some nice shoes here for me. Oh, so nice. Get these shoes.
Be careful, you're pregnant.
Very hard to bend over. 9 out of 10 evangelicals will agree. Let's keep her barefoot and pregnant like the good Lord made her to be. Hold on, Tracy. I need a big pregnant pause right here. Because I need all y'all to get me out of this trance. I've been in Florida too long. And I need you to do that by clapping on the 2 and the 4 like this. So I'm not barefoot and pregnant and down on the farm, cooking in the kitchen and cleaning out the barn, praying in church, credit to her gender, popping out babies like a Pez dispenser. 9 out of 10 evangelicals will agree. Let's keep her barefoot and pregnant like the good Lord made her to be. My water broke. Barefoot and pregnant, my ass.
So that was Dawn DeRoe singing a rather hysterical song called Barefoot and Pregnant. And given the times we're in with the abortion debate, it was pretty fitting, and the audience back in New York loved it. The next number comes from a woman who is not only a terrific vocalist, but is also a fine actor. Here is Sandra Bargeman singing Quincy Jones's Miss Celie Blues from the film The Color Purple.
Purple So, sister, I'm keeping my eye on you. I bet you think I don't know nothing but singing the blues. Oh, sister, have I got news for you? I'm something. I hope you think that you're something too. Scuffling, I've been up that lonesome road and I've seen a lot of suns going down. But trust me, no low life's gonna run me around. So let me tell you something, sister. Remember your name. No twister gonna steal your stuff away, my sister. We sure ain't got a whole lot of time. I want you to do this with me. So shake your man. Come on. Shake your man, sisters. 'Cause honey, the sugar is feeling fine. So
So that was Sandra Bargeman singing Miss Seeley Blues from the film The Color Purple, and it was a great number. Our next performer is a multiple Cabaret award-winning singer and songwriter. Meg Flather is going to be singing her original song called Reaching Higher.
So I wrote this song 100 days into quarantine during the old pandemic. It's called Reaching Higher, and I am determined to be optimistic. Because I read Heather Cox Richardson every day. And she makes me optimistic. Because she says we've been here before. And she's a historian. So we've been here before. And we have to remember what we learned the last time we were here before. And feel free to chime in, ladies and all. It's pretty easy to follow. Tracy Stark. Reaching higher, higher, higher. Reaching higher, 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 higher. Reaching for my higher self like climbing up a ladder. My old companion rides my back. She's angrier and sadder. Missing all that was. Missing all that 100 days ago. 100 days. I tell her it all has to break for what's to come to grow. Reaching higher, higher, higher. Reaching higher, 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 higher. Reaching for my higher self. I've practiced this before. Season after
That was the terrific Meg Flathers singing her original song, Reaching Higher. And now, this was a real treat at the show. Got a lot of positive praise. And it was Blair Alexis Brown, a singer and actor who took to the piano herself for this beautiful rendition of Paul Simon's American Tune. Brown singing Paul Simon's American Tune, and she really blew the audience at Don't Tell Mama away with that number. So this was kind of special and different. Margot Surgent is a French-born classical harpist who once in New York transformed herself into a jazz singer who has been getting sold-out audiences at Birdland Jazz Club in Manhattan. For this show, she sang The Impossible Dream from the musical Man of La Mancha, and she delivered it in French. Here she is, Margot Sargent, The Impossible Dream in French.
Rêver un impossible rêve, porter le chagrin des départs, brûler d'une possible fièvre, partir où personne ne part, aimer jusqu'à la déchirure, aimer, même trop, même mal, tenter sans force et sans armure, d'atteindre l'inaccessible étoile, tel est ma quête de suivre l'étoile, peu m'importe les chances, peu m'importe le temps, où ma désespérance est lutter toujours, sans question ni repos, se donner pour atteindre l'amour. Je ne sais si je serai ce héros, mais mon cœur serait tranquille. Et les villes s'éclabousseraient de bleu, parce qu'un malheureux brûle encore, bien qu'il ait en tout brûlé, brûle encore, même trop, même mal, pour atteindre à s'en écarteler, pour atteindre l'inaccessible étoile.
So that was a pretty special performance at the show, and kind of all these people blew everybody away, but that was a big surprise. Margot Sargent doing The Impossible Dream in French. So next up is another award-winning singer who has been in multiple Blue Wave shows. Here's Lisa Vigiano singing a song called My Story by songwriter Eileen Angel.
What are the things I didn't say that needed saying? What is the road I didn't take when time allowed? If this is life, when will I start participating? When will I raise my hand and say the moment's now? It's not too late. Too old. too late. I'm not too old. There's more of this left to unfold. My story's not. My story's not. It's not too late. Not too late. Not too old. There's more to this. There's so much more. I didn't say that needed saying. What is the road I didn't take when time allowed? I'll do it now.
That was Lisa Vigiano singing My Story by Eileen Angel. Next up is another multiple award-winning cabaret performer, Julie Rayburn, singing Lawrence Hill's emotional and dramatic His Eye is on the Sparrow.
Why should I feel discouraged? Why should the shadows come? Why does my heart feel lonely and long for heaven and home? When God is my portion, a constant frown is a shield. Eye is on the sparrow.
by Julie Rayburn singing Lauryn Hill's His Eye is on the Sparrow. And we're going to transition now to another fantastic song. And this singer has done this number multiple times in Blue Wave shows, and every time it draws a rousing ovation. It's been one of the most popular songs in the Blue Wave shows. This is Sierra Ryan singing Stephen Sondheim's The Flag Song, which was actually a song cut from his 1990 musical The Assassins. Sierra Ryan with The Flag Song.
You can gripe all you like. You can sneer, where are the heroes? You can shout about how everything's a lie. Then that flag goes by. You can snipe at the greed, at the need to be a winner, at the hype you keep hearing from on high. And you think, why try? And you want to cry. Then that flag goes by, and you think that's why. 'Cause of that idea, that incredible idea. What you want to do is brag. I'm part of that. Yeah, I know it's just a flag. Okay, but still, for a minute you think, hey, we will fix everything tomorrow. For a minute you're aware of feeling proud, and then suddenly you're staring at the crowd, and you're thinking there's no link. I can see they're as different from me as they possibly could be. Then you see the idea. And you know it's a dream, and you know it isn't perfect, and at times it may seem to go awry. Then that flag goes by, and no matter how you sigh, it's the bright blue sky. It's just mom and apple pie. It's that thing you can't deny. The idea that it's fixable tomorrow. You're a chance, you've a choice. We can change ourselves tomorrow. We're in charge, we've a voice, an idea about tomorrow. To remember when that flag has gone by.
So I'm sure, like I was and the audiences were at the Blue Wave shows, that you were probably blown away by that song. And many of you may not have ever heard it because it was a Stephen Sondheim song that was cut from a musical. Anyway, our last number for the show in May, and the song that closed the show, is delivered by Janice Hall with backup vocals from Sierra Ryan and Tracy Stark, who is the fantastic music director for a number of Blue Wave shows, including the one we did in May and the one we're doing today in New York. This song is called Sing Again by Shayna Taub, who in 2024 won the Tony Award for Best Book and Score for her musical Suffs, based on the American women's suffrage movement. Here's Janice Hall with Sing Again.
After every losing battle, every desperate place we've been, past every breaking point of no return, somehow we always sing again. We always sing again, sing again. Oh, we all rise and sing again. After every last disaster,
we're sure we've reached the end. We lift each other off of the ground and say, somehow I'll know we'll sing again. 'Cause we always sing again. Sing again. Oh, we all rise and sing again. Sing again. Sing again. Oh, we all rise and sing again. Never been, never is, never gonna be easy. No, no. So we need voices high and low. Though we're living through a nightmare, we're doing everything we can. Yeah. Standing here together to face the fear. Can you hear us sing again? Come on, people, this is where we sing again. Sing again. Oh, we all rise and sing again. Sing again. Sing again. Oh, we all rise and sing again. Oh, we all rise and sing again. Oh, we all rise and sing again.
So, folks, that wraps up our 10 fantastic singers from the Blue Wave Show for Democracy in May when we raised money for Democratic candidates. One thing that you might know about Cabaret is there's usually an encore. So I thought if it's not too self-indulgent, I have actually done some songs in these shows. And when we did our very first show on April 4th, 2018, it was the 60th anniversary of the assassination of Martin Luther King. And since John F. Kennedy was my earliest hero, I was 8 years old when JFK was assassinated. And later, Bobby Kennedy became one of my political heroes. I thought it would be appropriate in the first show to sing this classic song, and you'll know it when you hear it. It's called Abraham, Martin, and John.
Hope I can get through it. Anybody here seen my old friend Abraham? Can you tell me where he's gone? He freed a lot of people, but it seems the good they die young. I just looked around and he's gone. Anybody here seen my old friend John? Can you tell me where he's gone? He freed a lot of people, but it seems the good, they die young. I just looked around and he's gone. Anybody here seen my old friend seems the good, they die young. I just looked around and he's gone. Didn't you love the things that they stood for? Didn't they try to find some good for you and me? And we'll be free someday, soon. It's gonna be one day. Anybody here seen my old friend Bobby? Can you tell me where he's gone? I thought I saw him walking up over that hill with Abraham and Martin and John. I thought I saw him walking up over that hill with Abraham and Martin and John.
Well, folks, that was yours truly, your host of the Patriotic Progressive, singing Abraham, Martin, and John. I hope it didn't cause you to flip the dials. But it was a very emotional moment, by the way, during that show. I told the story of meeting. Well, actually not meeting, but when I was 12 years old and growing up in the Bronx, and Bobby Kennedy was running for the Senate that year, 1966, he was doing a rally in the Bronx near my elementary school, and I managed to work my way up to the front of a flatbed truck that he was giving a speech in, and he saw me and looked down at me and reached over and shook my hand. And I'll still never forget that to this day. So I told that story at the show, and it was hard not to kind of tear up at that moment. And maybe you did too when you heard all of these songs in this fantastic show. So that's it. Just want to wrap up by telling you that, again, I urge all of my listeners to help Kamala Harris and her running mate, Governor Tim Walz, by donating what you can to KamalaHarris.com. Folks, we must defeat Donald Trump and J.D. Vance in this election. There can be no other option if we all want to secure this democratic republic and the rule of law in America. Many thanks to my producer in the booth, Ryan Thompson. Please tune in again next Saturday morning from 8 to 9 a.m. when I'll be speaking with two more Democratic candidates running in local races in Arizona. And remember, you can live stream our show on mellowmountainradio.com and hear the podcast version on Apple and Amazon Podcasts, YouTube, Spotify, and now my Substack newsletter at Patriotic Progressive. And at 10 a.m. this morning, please tune in to Sedona Life with Stephen Hanks, my other KAZM show, when the subject will be about how you can improve your health and longevity through optimal nutrition. And my special guest will be very special, New York-based dietitian Jean Hanks-Uecki, who just happens to be my daughter. But for now, thanks for listening to the Patriotic Progressive for truth, justice, and the democratic way. Have a great week, everyone.